And a lot of people have talked about it as if this is a bad thing that we don't have a Speaker of the House. And today I kind of want to fight that narrative. I'm not so sure that not having a Speaker of the House is a bad thing. I'm kind of a fan. And this is the reason why. My general philosophy is this: it's okay for Republicans to disagree. I've heard from many that this is like a demonstration that the GOP is weak, that, the GOP just doesn't know what's going on, that they're out of touch. But I think that we have gotten away from what is real and what real people are like, which real people just disagree. Real people sometimes are arrogant, like I believe Matt Gaetz is. But here's the thing: you look at Democrats and they agree on everything. You'll hear bickering occasionally on these issues, but when push comes to shove, they all vote the same way. Someone gives them a call and they say, hey, you have to vote this way. And they vote unanimously every time, except for just a couple fringe people occasionally. But usually they're in the Senate. They're not even in the Congress. To see Republicans disagree like this shows me that, okay, the Republican Party is not a cult like the Democrat Party is. The progressive cult has completely taken over the Democrat Party, no question. Now, I think there's a lot of mistakes that GOP makes, and I think there's a lot of things that they could do better. But just looking at the way that they're disagreeing, it's clear that not all of them are on the same page and they're not bought by the same people. And I think that is a strength. Really quick, first, a word from our sponsor, Gulag America. Guys, the shirt is here. The Josh Carr Show shirt is here, made by, let me pull it over. Whoa, sorry, I bumped the mic. Gulag America. This is the first long sleeve shirt that I've owned of theirs. It's really nice. As I've talked about before, I don't own Gulag America. It's not my company. It's simply just a sponsor of the show, and they've made some Josh Carr Show stuff. If you go to their website right now, gulagamerica.com, and you go to the affiliate portion, you will see the Josh Carr Show there. Again, I am donating half of all of the revenue from that to Israel, to different medical charities who are helping on the ground there. If you use my code JoshCar10 as well, you will get 10% off for the whole Gulag America store, so please go check them out. Again, the mark of a good shirt is the collar. And one thing I love about Gulag America shirts is the collar are always crisp, they're not wrinkling. That's why I partnered with them. They're fantastic. Again, use my code JoshCar10. You'll get 10% off there at gulagamerica.com. The cardinal sin of this whole debacle right now is not necessarily that there is no speaker or that they're disagreeing. It's that Gaetz didn't have a plan after ousting McCarthy, at least not for a while. Now that they're running Jim Jordan, in my opinion, like Jim Jordan is a way better speaker than Kevin McCarthy. So I'm very happy with Jim Jordan. And I think most people are. I mean, you've got like 20 Congress people who aren't happy with Jim Jordan. I think those people should probably put their pride aside and recognize that if there are 200 Republicans okay with this, they probably ought to be okay with it too, though the same could be said for Matt Gaetz, where there was only 8 people who didn't want McCarthy. But either way, I'm kind of a happy camper because here's the deal. People are saying, like, Republicans are saying this. I understand if Democrats are saying this, but Republicans should not be saying this, which is we need to get a speaker in the House so we can get work done. Work done? Like, in what way? What are you talking about? We have a Democrat president. We have a Democrat Senate. So if you're expecting super conservative bills to be coming out of Congress and to actually get passed, you're crazy. The only thing that gets passed out of Congress is bipartisan bills, which are fine. But super conservative bills are not going to be coming out of Congress right now. So the question is, what kind of work are you trying to get done? The $106 billion that go to Ukraine? Yeah, I'm good with that being on a standstill for now. Like, honestly, gridlock is honestly like one of the best things, I think, for America. I think that our system was built for gridlock. And so I think there is an inherent danger to us looking at this situation and saying we need to speed this process along as much as possible. And the media is as much of a culprit as anyone. The way that they talk about how this is just, oh, the Republicans are so weak. Oh, this is just a nightmare. Like, we can't even get our government together. It's like, no, they're debating it out. They're disagreeing. A lot of Republicans are purposefully doing this. They're drawing this out because they don't want certain things passed. And I look at that and I say, fine. At least nothing is happening rather than something bad happening. And despite the media playing it off in this bad way, I think if more of us look at it this way, our Congress people will feel even more liberated to disagree. And I honestly hope in the future that we don't see just needless unanimity within Congress when debate could happen, especially when you're deciding something as important as the Speaker of the House. I'm totally okay with there being debate and there being holdouts. Again, that's with the caveat that if you are going to disagree with someone, you need to actually have a plan. And that's where I fault Matt Gaetz and some of these other fringe people, is they need to actually have alternatives. And this goes for the 20 people who are holding out on Jim Jordan, by the way. If you're not going to vote for Jim Jordan, you got to have like a strong alternative. And it can't be a throwaway vote, because you have that all the time. They're like, oh, I'm voting for Kevin McCarthy still. It's like, no. Kevin McCarthy has said he's not running anymore. Your vote means nothing. That's not a plan. You voting for someone who's not running is not a plan. You need to, and honestly, those people need to be voted out immediately, because our politicians actually do need to think politically. This is war. It's Republicans versus Democrats, 100%. It's progressives versus conservatives. It is war, and you want your warriors to know how to fight. And if they don't know how to fight, which in this instance is thinking politically, they got to go home. They don't deserve to be on the battlefield. They're going to make everyone else weaker. And so, again, no problem with disagreeing. I have no problem with that at all, but you got to disagree with a plan. And if you do that, then, the gridlock is welcome. Bring it on all day.